Ladies and gentlemen, on your feet for tonight's lineup of your Tulsa Roughnecks. In goal, number 1, Sean Lewis. On defense, number 13, Matt Sheldon. On defense, number 4, Cyprian Hedrick. On defense, number 2, Moses McKinney. At midfield, number 6, Jeff Adi. At midfield, number 8, Manuel Gonzalez. At midfield, number 11, Christian Altamirano. At midfield, number 23, DJ Dean. At forward, number 16, Rodrigo de Costa. And at forward, number 99, Jono Silva. Tonight's referees, Jose Laura. Assistant referee, Matt Trottier. Assistant referee, Seth Barton. And the fourth official, Matthew Corrigan.
The time is upon us once again. The 2019
USL Championship season is here, and we are coming to you live from the city of Tulsa, downtown Tulsa, at 1 Field as Portland Timbers 2 and the Tulsa Roughnecks get set to debut this 2019 season, and we're excited to bring you coverage all night long. Welcome in, everyone. I'm Jeremy Poplin, joined by Dave Saunders. Boy, lots of changes on
Ladies
both
and
sides.
gentlemen,
We'll get
please
to the
welcome to the
second,
field
let's start first
Tatum
with the home side, the
Vargas.
Tulsa Roughnecks.
Tatum is 11 years old and is a huge Tulsa Roughnecks fan. Tatum will be singing tonight's opening night national anthem. Fans, would you please rise if you are able, remove your hats, and stand at the attention for the national
norm for a side that has the academy. But some new faces, 55 points last year, making the playoffs for the first time, but they've had to rebuild as well.
They've certainly had to rebuild, and they'll want to go even better than this, finishing, as you said, in the playoffs for the first time, rebuilding, same coach. They can't wait to go either.
It's been a wild weather week here in the city. Snow on Monday, temperatures as low as 8 degrees on Monday to 70 degrees as we get set for kickoff. One thing we'll keep an eye on, Dave, is the wind, because the wind is strong this afternoon.
That good old Oklahoma wind will be there, but it really is perfect conditions for soccer.
Are you pumped up? Are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go. I can't wait.
We're excited to bring you coverage all night long right here from 1 Field as the Tulsa Roughnecks and Portland Timbers 2 get set to kick off week 1 of USL Championship 2019, and we'll have the coverage for you all night long here. We'll take this time out. When we come back, we'll have not only the starting 11, but we'll highlight the players to watch for tonight's match. That's coming up next after this break.
realized that my knees really were hurting, and I ended up tearing both of my patellar tendons in several places.
Dr. Stanley and Tulsa Bone and Joint, he gave us all of our options, explained them, and we knew walking out that we were in the best place possible for her. From a mom's perspective, without Dr. Stanley, without his staff, we would not have been able to give her her senior year.
I'm Chad Smith with Becco Contractors. As an employer, we're always worried about new employees coming to the job and not being aware of their surroundings and just not knowing what they're really doing because it's a new job site. So the partnership with Tulsa Tech has really helped us take that worry out of the equation. We know that they're fully trained and ready to go by the time they show up on the job.
Welcome back to One Oak Field in downtown Tulsa as we get set for week number 1 inside USL Championship with Portland Timbers 2 visiting the Tulsa Roughnecks. It is a privilege to be joining you here this evening on this, well, rather warm night for the month of March here in Tulsa after we have been fighting the weather conditions all week long. We've seen everything from snow to 70-degree temperatures to rain mixed in, and we are fortunate with the weather that we have so far here this weekend. There's Cyprian Hedrick, one of the captains for the Tulsa Roughnecks, and Dave Saunders, who joins me all season long here on this broadcast. We have talked in the past about Cyprian Hedrick has been a roughneck killer in all of his stops, whether it be Oklahoma City, whether it be San Antonio. It is great to have him on our side, and there is a gentleman that we will have to keep an eye on tonight. It's Todd Wharton, Dave.
Todd Wharton is a great player in my opinion. Last 3 years at RGV, great signing for Timbers 2. Last season, career high, 5 goals and 5 assists, and boy, can he hit the target. He works hard in the midfield. He's one to watch out for tonight. And as you said, the aforementioned Cyprian Hedrick, you'd rather have him on your side than against you. He, in my opinion, is one of the best central defenders in the whole of the USL.
Lots of changes that we will bring you throughout the entire evening, not only on the home side, but on the visitors' side as well. And it has been a fantastic opening weekend to USL Championship here in the early portion of March. You see there's Michael Ensian on your far left, the head coach of the Tulsa Roughnecks. As we scan down the bench, it's great to have Michael Ensian back. Now this is his team. He built it from the ground up. We talked about that process earlier this week, and he said it was a challenge, but it was a welcoming challenge to this time in his career, Dave.
Absolutely. I mean, last season he took over halfway through. It wasn't his team. He did his best. He got 3 wins on the season. This is his team. There's no excuses, as I said in the intro there. And here we go at One Oak.
There's Cameron Knowles, head coach for T2, enters his 2nd season after guiding the club to a regular season record of 17-13-4, 55 points, and qualified for their first ever postseason appearance in 2018. We'll get to your Mazio's starting 11 here in a few moments, and we are officially underway in 2019, and the Roughnecks are going to start early here with an opportunity. The ball played into the box here in a frantic start. And these two teams will try to settle in and figure each other out here in the early going. And that's a nice outlet ball played there from Wharton here in the early going. And we see T2 now with their first approach to the opposite end of the field. And that ball will sky over the top of the goal for our first goal kick of the 2019 season.
Well, one explosive start there for Yadu Silva, the Portuguese wearing 99 there for the Roughnecks, nearly in there on goal inside the first few seconds, and then there was a breakaway from Timbers too. But here the Roughnecks again now in possession.
Sean Lewis minding the net this evening for the Roughnecks as possession taken away near midfield. Opportunity here in the early going. Center circle ball played, settled there, looking to the far right, and he has Alta Tamarano cutting through, cuts it back, corner of the box now, cuts towards the byline. Lovely ball played in, just not enough elevation on it, still loose. Roughnecks might have an opportunity. The youngster DJ Dean, the Union High School product, straight out of the 918, back with the Roughnecks in year number 2. Christian doing his best here and has earned a throw in here deep on the Portland side.
Yeah, Altamirano, great start for him. Wide on the right for the Roughnecks, getting a good ball into the box.
Sheldon now, easy ball played back, settled there. with Jeff Adai, who will be key to this attack for the Roughnecks. Ball played out of the box, not settled there. Sarakowski, not much effort there from Sarakowski. Long throw, tried to play that one over the right shoulder there, did Silva. And the keeper has it. And it is Jake Leaker. Jake Leaker, born in St. Louis, Missouri. First professional season last year. Made 17 starts there for the USL side of the Real Monarchs SLC. Here's our first look at Cyprian, and a foul called on Sip as we see Langsford hit the turf.
It's interesting lineup from Cameron Knowles tonight for Timbers 2. It looks like a 4-3-3 when they're attacking, but very much it's a 4-5-1 when they're defending. But they do transition very, very quickly. Very impressive start from them tonight.
Williamson standing over this one. 15 appearances for T2 during last season. Right hand up in the air, right-footed ball. It's a low-line drive, hit directly at the keeper. No problem for Sean Lewis whatsoever as he smothers that one here in the 3rd minute.
Yeah, it's what you want as a goalkeeper, isn't it? Making your debut for your new club. You want a nice ball there that you can get hold of, and he did extremely well. So both keepers have had a touch of the ball in the early going.
It's a long ball looking for DaCosta. There's a nice look from the back line as everyone is fresh and new with a energetic spring in their step, Dave. And earlier this week, and it's a point that is well taken, as there is a foul there against Tulsa from the T2 coach, Knowles, saying we don't really know anything about anyone at this point. They don't know anything about us, and we don't know anything about them.
It really is like two new teams, isn't it? Absolutely right. Both coaches don't know each other. They've got no film to work on. Yes, there's a few names and faces they could have looked up and watched a little bit of film on individually, but how these two lined up and when the whistle went, nobody quite knew. It's a good game. It's a good start inside the first 4 minutes, 0-0.
Deep throw in for T2. McKinday was the defender in the vicinity. Ball sent towards the corner. McKinday tracking him down there, knocks it away, actually knocks it off at the T2 player. So heady play there from the defender as he has a throw in now. Opportunity now for DaCosta. Not much of a line of pressure here from the Roughnecks. DJ Dean now in the vicinity. Also up top, Silva. Now Silva shows signs. Well done there to knock that one down. Silva trying to fight there against the defender. Good bit of defending there from Tuiloma. Tuiloma has MLS experience and an even better ball played to the far side of the pitch. Ran down in the corner of the box, dropped off there. Williamson. Now it's a bit of possession. Nice behind the back. Fancy footwork, and it earns a corner kick, our first one of the season. It's a Red Crown Credit Union corner kick. You can learn more at redcrown.org.
Yeah, good play from Timbers 2. They look a good side, compact in defence, and they break very, very quickly. Skillful players. Loria involved there, the Costa Rican, who's a real handful and a great player to have in the USL. But nothing doing apart from this corner.
Portland makes a run. That ball curling towards the front post, headed away. Two Roughneck players came there at the same time. A bit of a collision there in the back. Manny Gonzalez, the midfielder, was back protecting that post. Gonzalez with another header. It's settled there. It's Waldorf. A shot that is blocked. Or excuse me, Wharton. And then a save there towards the near post.
Yeah, we highlighted Todd Wharton there. He had too much time for Coach Ensian's liking there. He was just on the 18-yard box, but it was blocked in the end. And in the end, another save from Sean Lewis.
And that immediately got Coach Ensian up off the end of the bench, shouting out directions here in the 7th minute. One opportunity so far for Portland Timbers 2 here in the early portion of this season. Our center tonight is Jose Lara, Matt Trotter, Seth Barton, and Matthew Corrigan, the 4th Trying to switch fields there to find DJ Dean. Couldn't get there in enough time. Roughnecks players trying to surround, a little bit more pressure now. Former Roughneck Moja Dama. Square ball finds Tuiloma. Farfan.
Well, Timbers 2 fans will know how good Moja Dama is, and Roughnecks fans will agree as well. A great, great central defender. And here he is in possession again.
And that is what is making Moja Dama one of the better defenders, and has over the last couple of seasons. That ball there from the back line almost dropped in perfectly, looking for Warden. It earned a throw-in. And I'm not quite sure, Dave Saunders, if you could put into words just how much the loss of Moja Dama, with the Roughnecks coming off that playoff berth, and last year not having Jadama back there to solidify that back line, really threw them for a loop in the early portion of the season.
Oh yeah, couldn't agree more. It really threw them. He's just a quality defender. We've talked about Cyprian Hedrick, but you know, Moja Dama is another great defender, one of the best in the league as well.
How about that footwork from Loria, showing his patience and skill on the ball. First 15 minutes now of this season are key. Teams trying to feel each other out, and right now it seems like the T2 has their fair share of possession. Ball on, but the flag is up on the far side. Sarakowski a step off. Back line doing their best to put him in that position. And now we will have Lewis keep this one on the ground, and the Roughnecks will try to build from the back. That was one of the key emphasis that was put on the Roughnecks in the early preseason, Dave, was we're going to solidify our back first and try to build from the back and learn that way. And the Roughnecks went 5-1 in these preseason matches, their lone loss coming to St. Louis. But for the most part, pretty positive from what we have seen so far from Tulsa, and especially last week in the 1-0 win over the University of Tulsa.
And soccer fans all over the world know that your best teams are built on a great goalkeeper and a good defence, and that's the first thing to do, isn't it? You're right, the first 15 minutes you do not want to concede. I'm sure both coaches would have said that.
Williamson with a little flick on there to Farfan. Cut back now. Good defending. Step in there and takes it away. Ball forward, and here comes Roughnecks on the counter. DaCosta has DJ Dean. Dean now has a little bit of space, wants to go 1v1, but that ball, just a poor touch, came off the side of his foot. A giveaway there around the 18.
But I don't think his coach will mind that. DJ Dean, youngster, as you say, local boy, and he's been told to run at the defence, so I'm sure Coach Ensian will be encouraging him to do that much more today.
Roberts allowed a lot of space on that outside along the touchline. Roughnecks come away with it, though. Foul just outside the edge, the center circle near half. That's Silva.
It was a great run, by the way, by DaCosta, wasn't it? Up the heart of the defence, the Timbers 2 defence. He was running at them, was able to pick out TJ Dean, who had room on the left-hand side.
Back to Cyprian Hedrick, 29 years of age, San Juancito College, and at Coastal Carolina University, Chanticleer, Dave. Good look there from the back line, just a tad bit heavy off of the boot. DJ Dean could not track that one down. A throw-in now for Timbers 2. Jadama sends this one long. Sarakowski got there first. That's important. One simple touch there. Timbers 2 will keep possession. Feelings on the first 12, Dave?
I think Timbers 2 have edged it just slightly in possession, but here come the Roughnecks again. It's 0-0's about right, and both coaches, like you say, don't want to concede the early goal.
Altamirano, the curler, and the first goal of the 2019 season comes in the 12th minute, and it's Christian Altamirano. He strikes first for the Roughnecks, and they find themselves with the 1-0 lead here in the early going.
What a great strike from Altamirano. He cut in from the right-hand side and curled a left-footed shot past keeper Lika. And just as I was saying, both coaches don't want to concede an early goal. We get one in the 12th minute, and it's just what the Roughnecks wanted. And Timbers 2, who've had the majority of the possession, find themselves 1-0 down.
Maybe if we'll have the opportunity on a Tankersley Food Service replay, Tankersley Foods, whatever it takes, we can watch him split the two defenders as we see the goal celebration in between. Boom, right there. In between the two, just enough space there to curl it in, to kiss it off the backside of that net. The defender didn't close down quick enough on that. He takes just that split little second of enough space to finish that one off.
Yeah, you could see on the Tankersley Foods, whatever it takes replay there, that was a beautiful curling left-footed shot from Christian Altamirano. He's playing on the right, but curled that in with his left foot. Beautiful goal, 1-0 to the Roughnecks.
Altamirano, 6 caps for the Honduras national team. And you want to talk about a way to build some momentum here in the early going. That is exactly what this franchise needed. A goal here in the first 15. Now they can settle in after not having the lion's share of the possession here in the early moments. But that does not matter because they have the lead.
I mean, credit, obviously, the goal scorer for the run, but you wonder if a couple of the defenders there could have done a little bit better and put a little bit more pressure and physicality on him before he was able to get into the position to curl that shot in. Seemed to go past them a little bit too easily.
Yeah, Zambrano was there, and he cut in between Sarakowski as well, who had tracked back. But if I'm Zambrano, I'm fouling him in that moment. This one might bounce almost there to the boot of DaCosta. Leaker has it, and will settle things now for Timbers 2.
And to be fair to Jake Leaker, the ex-Real Monarchs keeper, he could not get anywhere near it. I mean, it was that good a curling shot, wasn't it?
Long ball forward. One of the Timbers players looking for a little shove there in the back. Sean Lewis, the Rockford, Michigan native. Spent last year at Penn FC. Some time at Oakland University as well for Sean Lewis. Silva tries to bring this one down. Dean. Nice little sidestep there to the outside. Has some space now, and you see the speed with the ball on his foot. Driven ball towards the back post. Well done, DJ Dean, with his first real opportunity. And he shows, Dave, that he is not afraid to take on that defender.
Absolutely, and that is exactly what I alluded to in the commentary earlier on. Coach Ensign would have said to him, now you get the ball at your feet and you run at this defence. That's what we need you to do. Okay, he overhit the cross a little bit for the young man, but what a great run. And he looked up and just went for it, and that's what his coach is going to be saying to him.
Pro debut last year on June 23rd.
Yes, he's the only player that's come back for this season from last season's squad, isn't he?
Gonzalez. Head up, looking for the long ball. Little miscommunication there with DJ Dean. Dean applies pressure. Back to Roberts. And a throw-in now there in front of Michael Ensian.
Perfect conditions, isn't it, for a game of soccer? You know, it's 57 degrees. Channel 8, Tulsa's local weather leader, providing us with the weather forecast. And, you know, it's a beautiful night. It's dry. You and I walked on the pitch a few hours before kickoff. It's just really perfect conditions for the players out there.
A pitch that was covered in snow on Monday.
Right.
Hacked down directly in front of the Roughnecks bench.
Just a little warning from referee Lara there for Harold Hansen, wearing 45, the right back for Timbers 2.
There's the Brazilian Da Costa. Leaker has it, will build from the back with Chadama. Switches fields to Iloma. Just over the head of Da Costa, and a misplayed ball. Cutting back at the 18, he fell down. Referee says play on, no foul. Silva now.
No foul for me. Referee was right there in a very good position, and no complaints from any of the players.
In the early portion of the season, communication is so important. Communication in general is one of the most important aspects of this game. And if you're not communicating here in the early going, you can have little mistakes, little blips happen like that. That in probably a month or so, you would hope won't happen anymore. As DJ Dean spins away, cuts inside the box, leaves it there. And if that was not for Wharton tracking back, he was going to leave that one for Da Costa.
Well, I tell you what, that's great play from DJ Dean, because he was up against Mo Jadami, who had to come out from centre back to right back there. That was great play.
Headed out of the box, unable to be saved there from Sierakowski. Gonzalez. Foul there on Gonzalez.
Yeah, again, sensible refereeing. Just having a little word with Gonzalez there. He had a little pull at the arm, and then he was in the back. And I think the referee will now speak to a Timbers 2 player.
It's Jose Lara. As you see there, the assistants in Matt Trotter and Seth Barton. Matthew Corrigan.
And Foster Langsdorff, was the player having a little word in his ear. But
so if you're Lara, what are you telling Gonzalez right now?
I think just calm down. I think you know, tell him that you pulled his arm back, then you went in the back of him. Just be careful. I don't want to produce a card.
Cutting to the inside, ball still on the foot, blocked away. Timbers 2. Oh, lovely ball towards the byline. Sent. Now Sean Lewis had to get up for that one. It was a tad bit high.
Well, if you're a Timbers 2 fan watching this, you'd be delighted with your attacking play, even though you're 1-0 down. That was superb play from them, and they look very dangerous, a la DJ Dean at the other end, running at the Roughnecks defense.
Well done on Lewis to make sure that he did not get a piece of that, but he had every angle of that near post covered.
Of course, we should say Sean Lewis, the goalkeeper, has got an excellent coach here at the Roughnecks. Of course, one Donovan Ricketts, known to many of you from the MLS.
Well done on the long ball. Altamirano. Step over, cuts towards the byline. Right-footed ball that's there. Leaker plucks it easily out of the cool Tulsa air.
Yeah, and he would have been pleased, Leaker, to get his hands on that one. He's a tall goalkeeper, and of course he was beaten by a beautiful curling shot. Couldn't get anywhere near it, but as a keeper, you want to get your hands firmly on the ball, and here he punts the ball down the field.
I think for the most part, Dave, the long balls played from deep midfield and also the back four so far tonight have been rather accurate here in the early stages.
They have, and it's a feature, isn't it, in the world game at the moment that, you know, it's pass, but occasionally a team will try the long ball, and it does catch a lot of teams out, and both teams have tried it with success tonight. You're right.
Altamirano. He was maybe looking for a little bit more there from Jose Lara. Hedrick. Silva took a weird bounce, curling back to the center of the pitch. Well done there, though, from Tuiloma to be able to read that ball in the air.
He did well, didn't he? And here he is in possession again, but he did give a glare to the assistant on this side. He thought there was an offside there.
Hedrick will track this one down. Easy ball played back. Now Sheldon. Roberts. Good look there down the far sideline. Curling ball played back. Altamirano will track this one down. That ball knocked down. Sheldon's attempt. And Zambrano. Loria. Farfan to Tuiloma. It's a tad bit more pressure from the Tulsa side. Good driven ball through. McKinday has to hustle back. That's played there, just missed at the near post. Oh, brilliant ball played in as McKinday was beat on that far side. It was a great ball that was played through. And how about that run from Langsford, Dave, near the near post?
Yeah, well, we'll get a replay here, and you can see Tuiloma there with a brilliant ball. That's the cross, and it was just put wide, wasn't it, by Langsdorff? But a great breakaway move, and thanks again for the match replay. How about Taxi Foods?
How about Eric Williamson, though, on the angle to even be able to get that ball and find the runner coming through Langsford?
Right. It was fantastic play from him up from the back, and great cross, and just put wide. But alas, it stays 1-0 to the home side.
This will be the first corner for the Roughnecks tonight. It's the Red Crown Credit Union corner. Learn more at redcrown.org.
And it's going to be the goal scorer to take it, Christian Altamirano. Roughnecks have got 5 players in and around the box.
Trying to use some of their size around the penalty spot. Curling ball in, that's there. Leaker just enough. And Zambrano has already shown that he has another gear, and they can quickly come on the counter, and here they come. Back to Zambrano. DJ Dean tracking with him.
Yeah, that was a quick break, and the captain leading the way there, Zambrano. It was a great break, but the Roughnecks have the ball back again. Perhaps they can break themselves here.
Let's give credit to DJ Dean there, because his responsibility on that corner, he's 3 yards to the opposite side of the D. When he quickly saw that Zambrano has that ball and they go on the counter, that's DJ's responsibility at that point in that area, and he did a great job.
He did. He was hanging in and around the box, as you say, when the ball was headed away. He ran 3/4 of the length of the field to get back and foil the danger there.
Silva to DaCosta. Has help to the outside. Cut back from the byline. Altamirano was there, still in the air for a moment. Timbers 2 will get the brief clearance.
Yeah, Altamirano nearly getting a second goal of the night there with his head this time, but good defending. They scrambled it away in the end, did Timbers 2. And here they come again.
28th minute. Switching fields now, Sierakowski. Good hard tackle there. Matt Sheldon. Not afraid to use that shoulder.
Right, Matt Sheldon, he's had his injury problems in recent years, so big season for him, and he's got the berth at right back tonight from Coach Ensign. He's worked hard in, here he is again on the ball, worked hard in their pre-season.
Sheldon, by the way, 2 pretty good podcasts that he produces. Warden leaves it to the outside, Loria, and a foul.
Well, Todd Wharton there was blocked off by Manny Gonzalez there, and the referee spotted it, and there's going to be a free kick right on the D. There is Wharton, who we highlighted. Here's the replay, and we'll see Wharton 77 there, just blocked off by Manny Gonzalez. Thank you again for the replay from Tankersley Foods, whatever it takes.
Literal hip check there in an extremely dangerous spot. Dead center.
And 3 players around the ball here. One of them is Eric Williamson.
And both sides have worked on this in the preseason.
Big moment of this half, 29 minutes gone here. Roughnecks leading by 1-0, but a real opportunity here for Timbers 2.
Loria. Sends it over the top. No trouble whatsoever there from for Sean Lewis. And a missed opportunity there for Portland Timbers 2.
Yeah, an opportunity needs to go on frame, doesn't it? Because there's no excuse about it being too close. It's got to get up and down. I mean, he had, you know, plenty of space. Here we'll see the replay with our camera looking down the field. Steps up left foot and he just gets underneath that, and that's no trouble at all for the goalkeeper.
Lewis sends this one forward. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com.
Well, the referee's pointing at something to Sean Lewis behind the goal. Something needs to be adjusted. I don't know whether...
Oh, the ball was on top of the net.
There you go. Good spot from the referee there, because he was half the field away. Shows how alert you have to be as the officials these days.
31st minute, Roughnecks leading 1-0. Farfan. Sierakowski has that one knocked away. Silva with the little reception there. One-touch ball played back. Goal scorer, Altamirano, steps over. It's Manny Gonzalez. Adai to the back line. DJ Dean has played well even with his service tonight, Dave.
Yes, he has. He hasn't done much wrong. A couple of times he's run into a defender and been dispossessed. But again, we say his coach won't be too disappointed with that, because that's what's going to happen. And as you say, he's been working hard for the team, both on and off the ball.
Throw in from McKinday.
I'm really impressed, Pop, with both teams, because if you think, you know, a couple of months ago, these guys were put together, and, you know, it's like they've been playing together all season. Really, both teams have really knocked it around well and had a good understanding.
In my conversation with Michael Insian earlier this week, that's exactly what we were talking about. And Michael Insian, one of the first things that you will find out in asking about building a team, a lot of that is character. And Michael Insian wants a specific type of character. And Gonzalez is now being called over by the referee,
who's been very patient with him tonight, and I think he will now be saying, that's the last one, Manny Gonzalez. You will be in the book the next time, no more. He's a combative midfield player, isn't he, Gonzalez? And he'll be in the thick of things throughout the whole season for the Roughnecks.
I don't mind that. Here in the early going, I think you do have to set somewhat of a tone. You have to be, there's a line, but I do think that you have to set a tone early. It's another Red Crown Credit Union corner kick coming up.
And we don't always credit good refereeing when we should, and I think he's refereed it very well so far inside this first 33 minutes. Hasn't produced the yellow card. You know, he's told the players, just keep playing the game. Let's have a good flowing game of soccer, and that's what we're seeing.
Williamson now with the corner. Driven ball there, the header. Well, it was a great look and a run coming up through the back. Just unable to capitalize on that. A tad bit high, but a well-taken corner there from Mr. Williamson.
Yeah, and it was the big New Zealander, Tuiloma there, up from the back, just got underneath it, didn't quite get over the top of it as he would have liked.
Ball crossed over the touchline. Michael Insian barking orders. Cyprian Hedrick has to come over to clean that one up. Skies it out of the park. Horton. Across the back line. Zambrano.
Right idea, just a little bit overhit there, wasn't it?
I think Timbers, too, have been relatively patient. They've played a lot of the proper balls. I don't think they've tried to force too many so far here in the 35th. That was the right idea, just not the proper execution.
Right. Make no mistake, there's not a lot between the two sides here, is there? I mean, there's only one goal in it, and, you know, as a quality finish from Alto Moreno, but Timbers, too, have really had the lion's share of the attacking play, you would say, inside this first 35 minutes.
Costa was not happy about that foul. See Jadama now working his way forward there at the edge of the box. Ball played in there. It came off one of the Roughnecks players. This will be another corner kick, the Red Crown Credit Union corner. Learn more at redcrown.org.
Yeah, the Roughnecks flicking the ball away there. But again, it's a corner for the Timbers 2 side who would love to get back on level terms before half-time.
Williamson, by the way, has 10 starts for the under-20 men's national team. Another driven ball there, and Lewis has to go up. No trouble for him whatsoever.
Yeah, big Mo Jadama up from the back there. Gets a powerful header on it, but as you say, no trouble for the goalkeeper.
Zambrano read that move from DJ Dean. He's gotten away with that one several times here in the early going. Then Zambrano splits the two. Has it knocked down from him. And these fouls in this general area, Dave, are starting to rack up.
Yeah, that was Moses McKinday there committing the foul. And you're right. They're giving a few too many free kicks away, the Roughnecks here. And Timbers do have a real opportunity again to get men into the box and get something on frame.
Tell you more about Moses McKinday here in a bit, London native. As the 10 yards marked off now. 37th minute. Another free kick opportunity for Timbers 2. Wants them to take one step back. Has it now. Ball played in, and that one was dipping just over the bar. 2 or 3 yards high.
Yeah, that's a couple of times they've got underneath it, isn't it? And, you know, not able to put one on frame. We said that the fouls are racking up, but the shots on frame are not for Timbers 2.
Fans, you can follow Roughnecks and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN+, home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join the over 2 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN+ and watch the championship live every week. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com. Foul in the center of the pitch here as Silva now on his hands and knees. He is holding what looks like that Achilles area on his right leg. Looks like he's okay.
Yeah, I think it was just an
trying
untidy,
to get that shoe back on.
Yeah, untidy challenge, I think, from Jadama. Again, right idea from the Roughnecks, but just not the execution.
And Sheldon held his hand up early on that. He called for it. Just a bit too much. Altamirano has help there. DaCosta. Roughnecks settle with Sheldon.
I think if Coach Ensign was saying anything to any of his players, he would probably be saying to DaCosta, we need you more on the ball. I don't think he's had enough touches of the ball. He's one of the more creative players, the number 16, Rodrigo DaCosta.
Well done there by Sean Lewis. There is no hesitation whatsoever. There's going to be a dead sprint there with Williamson. Impressed with Silva, Dave, here in the first 40. What I like about Silva is the fact that he's not afraid to come back for the ball. That is a skill at times that I feel like gets lost somewhat in the modern game. And he has tracked back several times. He's been able to settle, uses his chest, plays with his back to the goal. I like having a man up top that is not afraid to come back and retrieve.
And then hopefully players, you know, run in from midfield behind him. DJ Dean will go for this one, and he is onside. You're right. I think the manager would say, I want you to do that, but I also want you to score goals inside the 6-yard box. But I take your point. It's good to see a striker coming off and trying to get the ball from the midfield. He's just committed a foul there.
Well, it has to go hand in hand with how DaCosta is going to play as well.
And it's early days for those two, as we said. You know, you put a team together, and those two, your strike partners have got to be the ones that really gel early.
It's Tuiloma. Talked about his 13 appearances last year, made 11 appearances in 2017. Got 90 minutes there against Sporting KC in the second leg of the Western Conference Championship there at MLS. Opens this season on loan from Timbers. Lots of exciting changes here in USL Championship. new franchises. Costa out to Morano. That one caught him by surprise. He wasn't ready.
He wasn't ready, but if he'd had a better first touch, he could have been inside the box and getting a shot on frame.
How about the excitement in this league in 2019 from just the new sides that we have here in the West? I mean, from all the positive energy that we see coming out of El Paso, and they have a big one tonight against Oklahoma City Energy.
I think you were saying it was a sellout crowd as well, wasn't it?
I believe so. They were expecting standing room only. Flag is up.
Yeah, I mean, this league has got stronger each and every year that we've been involved with it. And well done to everybody involved. And the players making this a really good league in this game tonight.
Williamson not afraid to attack, leaves it here. Sarakowski towards the byline. Farfan and Williamson. Head up, looking there. Cyprian Hedrick glancing off the side of his head creates a red crown corner kick for Portland Timbers 2 here in the 43rd.
Again, great attacking play from Timbers 2. And if you are, you know, a Roughneck fan and you're the Roughnecks coach, it's important that Jeff Adai and Manny Gonzalez in the center of the midfield try to stop some of the flow here.
Curling ball in, Lewis has it. See if he wants to go on the quick hop. He does not, pulls it back. That's one area that I know Mike Insian talked about. Sean Lewis was how accurate he was on his long ball. Wharton's been relatively quiet tonight. A few active moments in the first 10 or 15. Outside of that, not much as far as a touch is concerned for Todd Wharton, who we saw here back, what, October 7th when he was playing with RGV?
Yes, it was. I was very impressed with him that night, and I think it's a great signing for Timbers too. He's had a couple of fouls against him. I don't think he's injured. I'm not saying that, but has slowed him a little bit. But he is a top player, and you can expect something from him at any minute in this game.
Of course, just comes out of a powerhouse at the University of Virginia.
I tell you, we mentioned him earlier, the lad born in London, Moses McKinday at left back, I think has been outstanding for the Roughnecks tonight. And he's had his hands full as well with the likes of Williamson and Laurier going at him. I think he's done extremely well. The new left back for the Tulsa Roughnecks. Here he is in possession right now. Came over to the States when he was just 9 years old.
Man on, Lewis is to come off of his line.
Cyprian Hedrick there is complaining to the referee that he was blocked off in exactly the same way.
1 minute of stoppage time will be added
for the
on
free
to the
kick
first
earlier on in
half.
this half, but the referee didn't see it, to be fair to him. I think he was running towards the right-hand side.
Got 1 minute of stoppage time added. 1 minute. It's brought to you by Osage Casino Hotel. Learn more at osagecasino.com. Sheldon now has some space. Right-footed ball curling. DJ Dean's going to track it down here in the waning moments. Creates some space for himself. Ball that's there. It was free for a moment, still out, not out of the danger area. Had to knock that one away, did Leaker. I think he was blocked by one of his defenders, and it came through there at the very tail end, and Tulsa was on the verge there of going up 2-0.
What an extraordinary passage of play. I think Leaker, in that last chance there, saw it extremely late. Now at the other end, Cyprian Hedrick comes away with the ball, and the referee brings proceedings to an end. But that was extraordinary end to the half, which the Roughnecks will be happy about because they will go in 1-0 in the lead. But Timbers 2, they've really been outstanding in their attacking play tonight.
Thank you for joining us. You can get all of your updates and alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. Search for all the home teams, and then click the follow button to keep up with the latest news and scores, plus get reminders on even the Roughnecks, their next match. Go to ESPN.com now and click follow for your club. Hedrick is having a conversation here with the center, Matt Lara, about that exact point that you brought up a few minutes ago, Dave, as the Roughnecks will now make their way here into the locker room at halftime, sporting their brand new kits. We'll tell you more about them coming up in the second half, as they were debuted just a little over a week ago, as Adidas is now welcome into the Tulsa Roughnecks family. It is 1-0 as we head into the locker room at halftime. Tulsa leading on the goal in the 12th minute, and the opening goal of the 2019 season. Christian Altamirano strikes first, as Michael Encian having conversations with his assistant coaches on the way off the field. We'll take a timeout and come back with more of our halftime show next, live from Tulsa.
Up when I was 12, and we went and got x-rays, and she diagnosed me with scoliosis and that we needed surgery as soon as possible.
Tulsa Bone and Joint was very compassionate. They took their time with us. They answered questions. He was very encouraging.
Dr. Clark helped me see that there is life after spinal fusion. Just because your spine is fused doesn't mean that you can't do what you love to do.
I'm Chad Smith with Becco Contractors. As an employer, we're always worried about new employees coming to the job and not being aware of their surroundings and just not knowing what they're really doing because it's a new job site. So the partnership with Tulsa Tech has really helped us take that worry out of the equation. We know that they're fully trained and ready to go by the time they show up on the job.
So when we first got here, we were sat in the City Hall conference room, which was incredible and has a great backdrop of the city of Tulsa. Got to present Mayor Bynum with the first fan jersey of the year. We got to ask him any questions we wanted in there. Then he actually took more time to give us a tour, showed us around City Hall, showed us the north, the south side of the building, and then we even got to see inside his personal office, where he had some cool gifts and some special antiques that I guess other Tulsans haven't seen, and even some cool things that fans of Mayor Bynum have sent in. One of them was a stuffed GT Bynum doll, which he said he's keeping in his office because he doesn't want anyone to be able to voodoo doll that thing. So yeah, it was a great experience, and they took so much time, and we're very grateful here.
So hey guys, we're gonna need you guys this year. We're gonna need our 12th man picking us up when we're down, rallying us up, getting us going. The energy comes from you guys. We're gonna have our energy, but to have that extra 12 man means everything in the game. Because we're gonna come out and we're gonna play hard, whether it's making big defensive plays to whether it's skill sets on the sideline, from scoring good goals to creating great plays. But at the end of the day, when we score a goal, we're coming to celebrate with you guys, and that's one of the most important things for us this year.
What does it take to be a champion? Skill, strength, vision, an unrelenting desire to prove your worth week in, week out. An army of fans behind you screaming your name. And sometimes just a bit of luck. For 631 games over the course of the next 9 months, 22 players will step on the field to answer the question, why will it be you and not them? And the 36 teams, from the champions of yesterday to the challengers of tomorrow, only one will be right.
I'm Chad Smith with Becco Contractors. As an employer, we're always worried about new employees coming to the job and not being aware of their surroundings and just not knowing what they're really doing because it's a new job site. So the partnership with Tulsa Tech has really helped us take that worry out of the equation. We know that they're fully trained and ready to go by the time they show up on the job.
In about 8th grade, I realized that my knees really were hurting, and I ended up tearing both of my patellar tendons in several places.
Dr. Stanley and Tulsa Bone and Joint, he gave us all of our options, explained them, and we knew walking out that we were in the best place possible for her. From a mom's perspective, without Dr. Stanley, without his staff, we would not have been able to give her her senior year.
Of 2019 USL Championship season with the Tulsa Roughnecks and Portland Timbers 2. And what a great weather night that we've had so far here through the first half. Jeremy Poplin and Dave Saunders with you. Let's recap the first half, shall we, Dave Saunders, as got off to a frantic start. Both teams trying to figure some things out here in the early going, but there were a couple of big chances early. Then teams started to settle in, which you get the sense that happened everywhere across the league today, and it might be a few games before everyone starts to settle in to truly understand, because there's a difference between preseason matches than coming out here.
Oh yeah, this is it, isn't it? When the whistle went tonight, we said both coaches didn't even know each other's teams, and here they go, and they're up against it. Here's the goal. What a fantastic strike that is for your first goal for the club. That's Christian Altamirano, and it was 12 minutes. But we were saying disappointing defending there from the two midfielders, but what a quality finish from the young man from Honduras. Great strike.
Now to Portland Timbers 2. The long ball that's played in, that's Williamson that's running onto it. How about that ball played there towards the near post, though, on the angle, falling away from it, and they weren't done. And we'll get more of those in a minute. Here's another opportunity for the Roughnecks, a loose ball that's there. That's created by DJ Dean. Silva was the closest man that was there. Altamirano, that ball just took that one hop there. Leaker got to it just in enough time to punch it away. And that kept Tulsa off the board for one more time, and that was in the last couple of moments. We've got some out-of-town scores coming in for you as well, as it is a big week to open things up in 2019. There you see Phoenix and San Antonio. How about those two heavyweights going at it here early? The Energy and El Paso. We're standing room only in El Paso. That's the start coming up at 8:30. New Mexico United, one of the new sides, taking on Fresno. Los Dos, Colorado Springs Switchbacks, Las Vegas, and the new Austin Bold. Then later on in the evening, you've got Real Monarchs and Sacramento Republic. That's the 9:30 local time start. So Phoenix and San Antonio, not a bad way to kick things off.
I think it's tremendous, isn't it, that soccer is back with this wonderful USL League. And as you say, San Antonio, Phoenix, that's a mouth-watering prospect. We've got one here. And then you throw in all those new teams who are itching to get going, aren't they, later on this evening. So a lot of soccer being played all across the nation.
And we've got the second half coming up for you here in a bit. You know, one item that we haven't mentioned tonight, Dave, is you see the backdrop again, is the changes not only on the pitch, but the changes from the technical side and the front office side as well, as Barry Williams steps in now as team president. Also ran Fortuna Tulsa, was their CEO. Wayne Farmer, the new general manager. Spent quite some time here in the city of Tulsa, played at TU and also at Oral Roberts, and was the previous and present general manager of Fortuna as well. You've worked with him in the past, and we welcome both of those individuals on board.
Absolutely, and you know, it's all very well for the players to go training every day and then get ready for their first game, which they've already played 45 minutes, but you need guys like Barry and Wayne, and I'm sure there are guys from Timbers too, and all the clubs that work behind the scenes, Pop, to put these players on the field, and they've worked really, really hard, and it's great. We're seeing a great game of soccer here, and be a brave person to predict the final score, wouldn't it?
So if you were Michael Insian, were you happy heading into the locker room at halftime?
I think I was 50% happy. I think he would have said, Jeff Adai, Manny Gonzalez in the centre of the midfield, stop this flow that's coming through from Portland Timbers, because Timbers 2 fans, you have a very exciting team, especially going forward. Okay, there were a few scares at the back. The goal was a quality goal from the Tulsa Roughnecks. But if you're Mike Ensign, you know, you've kept a clean sheet, and your team is winning 1-0, so you've got to be happy, haven't you?
Anything statistically stand out? Pretty much dead even as far as possession is concerned. 50%, 50.7 if you want to be accurate for T2, 49 for the Roughnecks there. And outside of that, I mean, 4 corners for T2, just 1 for the Tulsa side, but pretty much as we expected as far as possession is concerned.
Yeah, possession, you know, stats are about even, but I think if you went on attacking possession stats, I think Timbers 2 would be way out in front. They are an exciting side, and you know, the Roughnecks have got the slight lead here at half-time, but Timbers 2, I'll repeat myself, are really good going forward, and I think the Roughnecks will have certainly talked about that in the locker room, and I'm sure that Cameron Knowles will be saying, come on, this game is far from over, you can get yourselves back in this one early on, and that's what he will be demanding from his players, is an early equaliser in this second half.
You see the dark navy kits there for the Roughnecks with Osage Casino and Hotel. There's the kit sponsor. Looking sharp. Those were debuted on Sunday, March 3rd, so last Sunday, the new home and away kits for 2019. Roughnecks looking good in those, with Adidas now welcomed to the family here in Tulsa. And the Roughnecks have been busy, not only on the pitch, but off the pitch, Dave. Visiting Tulsa Mayor G.T. Bynum. We saw that in the presentation there at halftime. Presented him with the first official fan jersey of 2019. I'm jealous. The mayor got a jersey before we did. Maybe rightfully so, with the job that he's done so far here. And players were all over the city. Hogan assessments, taking personality tests, going on different radio programs throughout the entire city. And I even was able to tune in and watch the GM Wayne Farmer there on Good Morning Tulsa on KTUL.
Yeah, Wayne Farmer's, we said, working hard to promote the Tulsa Roughnecks, and they've just gone through their Tulsa Recycles, reduce, reuse and recycle warm-up there at the beginning of this second half, because they were out early as Timbers 2 wearing all white tonight. They come out eager to get going in the second half because they will want to get back on level terms as soon as possible. Two new teams, as we said, very impressive that these guys have put their teams together and are playing like they've played all season together. Both teams knocking it around well, the odd long ball as well. It's a great game of soccer, and the Roughnecks just shading it at the moment 1-0.
Timbers 2 have a 3-1-2 advantage in this.
Let's hear you for the second half
series with the Roughnecks. Two of those wins have actually come here at ONEOK. The Roughnecks have 2 wins of their own in the past, going up to Portland. Of course, Timbers 2 will open up the season at Merlot. They're at Portland just for a brief period of time as we are back underway. If you're Cameron Knowles, I assume somewhat pleased with the possession, just a tad bit unlucky in the offensive third.
Yeah,
we'll see what type of adjustments that he comes up with.
Yeah, we didn't have a chance to say it in that halftime highlights there, but Foster Langstaff made that brilliant run. It was a great cross, wasn't it, from Williamson, and he was just wide of the target. You know, on another day, that goes in the back of the net. So it was a great move. They had chances, and as we said, Cameron Knowles will be saying to them, come on, early pressure, get yourselves back on level terms.
I think it was important for the Roughnecks to not only gain some confidence early with that early goal, but the one area that really benefited Timbers 2 last year was just how good they were on the road. We saw that at the end of the year, I think late September when they came in here, won 4-0 last season. But one of the reasons why they had 55 points, the highest amount ever for them, was that they finished on the road with an 8-5-4 record. 8 road wins were tied for the 4th most in the USL last season. Had 23 away goals as well. That was also tied for 4th in the West. 8 of their 12 shutouts last year came on the road. That is what propelled them to a historic year as far as their franchise is concerned and making their way into the playoffs. And for Tulsa to score early here, that was big. Oh, and a chance blocked away. Well done there by Silva to save that one on the byline. And now a foul in favor of Portland.
Yeah, I mean, it was a tremendous season for Timbers 2, wasn't it? And everybody was looking at them as one of the, you know, I won't say surprise packages, because I think we've always known they're a quality club and they've got quality players and quality coaching staff. But almost, you know, they would wanted last season to carry on, but they've certainly got a foundation to build on for this season, and they'll be desperate to get something out of this first game. But, of course, it's a long old season. We've got an injury. I think it's Yanu Silva that's down there.
Referee's going to call over the Roughnecks athletic trainer. Injury break brought to you by Tulsa Bone and Joint. Tulsa Bone and Joint, moving life forward. Now partner with the Roughnecks, and he's looking in that area of his left ankle, Dave.
Yeah, I didn't quite see what happened there. I think it was, you know, nobody's complaining about anything. I don't think it was a malicious foul or anything. I think it's just one of those things that happens in the game of soccer where there's a collision and somebody, you know, falls over. I don't know if we have got any replay on that, but I think he's okay.
It might be a tad bit higher up than just the ankle.
He's being helped off here. Doesn't look too healthy at the moment.
Whether he took a knock, and they do have a player that's up behind the Roughnecks bench warming up, and they're going to wave it off. He's got a slight limp, but he has played well for his debut, native of Portugal.
Yeah, he's got to go off, of course, with the rules. He'll come back on. I think he's limping away there. Or is he saying to the coach, you know, I don't know if I can continue. He's going to get some treatment, I think. Come back on. So the Roughnecks temporarily down to 10.
Could be a short adjustment for them to reshape. Jadama. Turn there towards the center of the pitch. Chris passing to open up here in the second half. A little clip from behind, and that's a penalty. That's going to be on DJ Dean. And he tripped Harold Hansen from behind as Hansen made his way into the box, and immediate call there from the center.
Referee well placed, I have to say. I agree with him. I think DJ Dean is a young player.
Penalty kick has been assessed to the Portland Timbers.
Tankersley Food replay there, that is a clear penalty. And I think Harold Hansen did well there. And I think DJ Dean got the wrong side. And this is just what the doctor ordered if you're a Timbers 2 fan.
Marvin Loria steps up for Timbers 2. Native of Costa Rica. Hammers it there, and a save! Sean Lewis comes up big in the first penalty save of the season here in the 51st minute.
Sean Lewis!
And he was all over that from Jump Street, Dave Saunders.
Well, I have to say that's a pretty good save. Here's the replay. He hits it well enough left-footed. Okay, keeper gets a little bit lucky, gets the second bite of the cherry. Back come the Roughnecks now at the other end. What a game.
And you saw the pace that was hit with that ball, because when it came off of Lewis, it just sat there and was spinning. And fortunate enough there, you take advantage of that every single time and keeps Timbers 2 off the board. Then quickly they go with a short corner on the Red Crown Credit Union corner kick. And the Roughnecks, Altamirano, trying to work there in that corner. Unlucky there as he takes a tumble. And Timbers 2 will try to turn it the other direction.
Yeah, I mean, he hit the penalty well enough, but obviously not far enough away from Sean Lewis, who's able to make the save. And as I said, he got a little bit lucky. Keepers need a little bit of luck there, because it could have easily bounced back to the penalty taker, but it didn't, and he dove on the ball, and the Roughnecks survived. It was a correct call from the referee, in my opinion.
McKinday clears forward.
I think when a penalty is given, Pop, I often look at the position of the referee, and spot on again to Jose Lara, the referee, the centre. He was right there, and he had no hesitation pointing to the spot. Good call.
Now the assistant had his flag raised. I think there was a bit of an issue here with a piece of the sod that came up. So Jose Lara will come over and have a look.
And I think he's happy. And again, you know, officials have to spot everything. We had a ball on top of the net that Jose Lara, the centre referee, spotted from halfway down the field. And the assistant quite right to put his flag up. That could have been dangerous. And now the referee will have to restart with a bounce ball in the centre.
While we get an opportunity, who's up and who's down? Where does your club fit? You can find out every Monday in the official USL Championship Power Rankings, only on USLChampionship.com. Played back to Timbers 2. Sheldon got there in enough time. We had mentioned earlier with Sheldon and his podcast. Had a chance to listen to that the other day. Had AJ Ajakwa as a guest. Timbers 2, good hustle back to knock it down. Creates a Red Crown corner kick. Red Crown Credit Union. Learn more at redcrown.org. Altamirano hustling back, not allowing that ball to be completed. The Against All Odds podcast there with Matt Sheldon.
Now, we always get one of these in the game, don't we, where the referee has to look at a whole melee of players here jostling for position.
Right-footed ball driven there. The header that's there is Jadama. And Jadama finds the back of the net for Timbers 2. And they make things level here in the 55th minute. And it wasn't much from Mo Jadama, but just enough to strike here in the second half for the visiting side.
Well, we'll get a chance here to look at the replay. And Mo Jadama, the former Roughneck here, having a free header. All that jostling, you know, does make a difference. Here is the Tanksley Foods, whatever it takes, a replay. And you'll see Jadama gets into space there. And just a beautiful header. Not a lot of power on it, but well directed.
Didn't need it. Perfect placement. And you saw Jadama there cut to the inside, then quickly back out. Was able to sneak in around behind. And now everyone reset.
Well, it took 10 minutes. I mean, they've missed a penalty, and Cameron Knowles would have said to them, as I said, you know, go and get yourselves back on level terms and build from there. Now it really is any of the three results possible here in this game now.
Portland Timbers goal scored by number 94, Modu Jamadama.
So quite the return for Mo Jadama. And as we were just mentioning how good that the Timbers 2 were, and we'll have our first booking of the evening.
That's Visit Tulsa, up close and personal yellow card there, and it was for Manny Gonzalez.
And in fairness, Manny Gonzalez had been warned, had his last warning there about halfway through the first half, so Manny Gonzalez goes into the books.
Referees have to have a good memory as well, don't they? Because it was a few minutes before the half-time break, but he was on his last warning.
Now they'll get Sierakowski. And Gonzalez probably says, hey, you're going to book me, but I'm not going to book Sierakowski on that.
It was an untidy challenge, wasn't it? I'm not sure it was worthy of a yellow card.
Here's a die. Ottawa, Canada native. Played at Southern Cal.
Yeah, we haven't mentioned his name much tonight, but I think he's had a pretty tidy game. Everything he's done has been good. It's been unspectacular, but that's what his job in the team is. Just to break things up in the central midfield.
Got that workhorse mentality as part of that Ottawa Fury team and their run to the playoffs. It's been last season there in Germany. Long attempt there. Hit directly at Sean
Yellow
Lewis.
Yellow carded assist to number 8 for Tulsa, Manuel Gonzalez.
Yes, he played in Mannheim, didn't he? In that German league there. So he's had good European experience, as Jeff Adai.
If you're Tulsa here, you want a little bit more of the ball. Haven't had that much here in the opening moments. Some of the possession has ticked away from you just a bit. We were almost dead even at half, and now slightly in favor of Timbers 2.
Coming up to the hour mark, I would have thought Coach Ensign might be looking at maybe a substitution in the next 5 or 10 minutes. You mentioned a few minutes ago, AJ Ajekwa. A lot of fans here want to see that lad play, and of course USL fans will have seen him play for Colorado. Could be a possibility in a few minutes.
Trouble there for Leaker. Yeah, there was an interesting conversation that was taking place earlier this week on social media about tactics, and one of the things that was mentioned was, and I believe we're getting ready to have our first sub of the night here in a few moments, is that time frame to make your subs and how many coaches wait too late to make subs, and the, I guess, resistance, Dave, to make changes in the first half. And I guess it depends on your philosophy, but there are sub coaches that are just dead set against making changes in the first half. It's just part of their DNA. As we will get our first look here, and it will be Mr. Ajekwa that will be making his appearance, and it will be for young DJ Dean. So our first substitution of the night, brought to you by Tedford Insurance, protecting dreams since 1978. Good local company there, Tedford Insurance. And AJ Ajekwa making his Tulsa debut here in the 61st
Tulsa
minute.
Substitution coming off the field, number 23,
arguably,
DJ Dean.
You know, along with Cyprian Hedrick.
Coming onto the field for Tulsa,
big
number
name
14,
signing for the Roughnecks. A lot of
Ajekwa.
fans, local fans here, were pleased when he was signed.
AJ Ajekwa on Sheldon's podcast told a great story about the first time that he attempted to play soccer in high school and how poor he was at it. And a coach had separated the varsity squad with likely JV on two opposite ends of the field and went and punted a ball directly in the air. And it was trying to work and to see who could trap the ball. And he called Ajekwa over and told him to trap the ball, and AJ missed it 2 or 3 times. And the coach just told him, you just need to leave. And he talked about how much of a motivating factor that was for him in his career. And here he is with the first opportunity as the ball played through to him.
It's a bit like when the Beatles were told that they were no good with a bunch of loud guitars, wasn't it? By somebody, and then they became, well, the rest is history, as they say. But yeah, some coaches like you, some can coach you, some don't. And here he is in a Roughneck shirt with a score delicately poised at 1-1.
Hedrick wide finds Sheldon. Sheldon continues on that run. Pocket picked. Altamirano unlucky there. Zambrano. Warden all the way back to the goal scorer, Mojadama. Don't forget, you can follow the Roughnecks and the rest of the USL Championship all season long. ESPN Plus, back to that in a moment. Here's Portland Timbers 2, step over towards the byline. It's there, Hedrick cuts it down, looking for Warden. Header cleared out for a brief moment.
That was a great play from Sarakowski there with the little drag over and left the defender for nothing there, and was able to play a good ball into the box, but there was Cyprian Hedrick to foil the danger. Delicately poised game.
Follow everyone all season long on ESPN Plus. Home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join the over 2 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN Plus and watch the championship live every week. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com. I highly recommend it.
Mo Jadama has got a problem here. I saw him just out of shot, limping away just a couple of minutes away, and I'm wondering whether that might be either a knee or is it just a hamstring problem. Big player, of course, for Timbers 2, and especially with 26 minutes to go in this one. I think there'll be a lot of time added on, by the way, at the end. We've had several stoppages, but Jadama there, a little bit of concern.
That's a knee test.
Yeah, you're right. Left knee. Jadama.
That is exactly what they are checking right now, checking those ligaments inside of Mo Jadama's left knee. So we'll keep our fingers crossed for positive news there for Mo Jadama. We'll have another sub coming up here in one moment. Jadama is up. And he's going to jog the rest of the way off, so that is a positive sign for current member of the Portland Timbers and Portland Timbers 2. He's going to raise his hand and try to check back in. Meanwhile, back to action. It's Sheldon with the throw in. Ball returned directly back to him here in the 66th minute. Level at 1. There's a mistake. Janu Silva slams that just towards the near post. And he looked like that he had a Jakwa there to the left, Dave Saunders, and where was DaCosta? Was he making that run in the middle as well?
Well, you said a Jakwa. I was going to go for Rodrigo DaCosta because I thought DaCosta was waiting for that one to be laid back to him. But you know, Janu went for the shot, you know, as strikers often do, and hit the side netting. But I think Rodrigo was in a good position there.
Well, you mentioned earlier, when I had briefly mentioned him coming back to retrieve the ball, that you want your striker to score goals, so it's hard to blame him when he wants the glory in that position. Tui Loma with a great ball. Knocked down there. Corner of the 6-yard box. That was all Sarakowski could have done with it there. That left foot, just trying to get it to curl, couldn't do so. Goal kick now coming up for the Roughnecks here in the 67th.
Yeah, it was good play from Marco Farfan there down the left-hand side. Drove a good ball in, but as you said, there wasn't much that Sarakowski could have done there. It's a good game, Pop, isn't it? It's end-to-end. Both teams really want to go for the 3 points here.
Sarakowski, by the way, the 23rd overall pick in the MLS Super Draft this year by the Portland Timbers.
Jadama seems okay, by the way. Back on the field, seems to be running fairly freely. Here he is with the ball right now.
See if they try to pressure him a tad bit more. Tui Loma. Driven ball over the top here.
When the Roughnecks defend, they more or less go into a 4-1-4-1 with Jeff Adai sat in front of the two centre-backs, trying to make it difficult for Timbers to penetrate them.
Williamson with the back heel there. Receives the ball back. Sean Lewis off of his line, off the deflection. Comes back out and finally cleared out of the box. Dangerous there for a moment. Moses McKinday just trying to allow the defense a chance to reset.
Wonderful play there from Williamson.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, really good. Continued his run, got the ball back from his teammate, and good save in the end, actually, from Sean Lewis, keeping it once.
He has been one of the key pieces to the offense tonight for Portland Timbers 2. You know, McKinday, who we mentioned on the clearance there, has played in 5 different countries already at the young age of 26. local club, Birchmere FC, there in London.
Yes, down there in South East London. His local team would have been Charlton Athletic. Some fans will know Charlton Athletic.
Moved to America when he was 9 years of age. Moved to Baltimore, Maryland. Dad had a job opportunity there.
You just feel, Pop, we're at a stage of the game coming up to this 70-minute mark where Timbers 2 have just got a bit more of a foothold in the game. And the Roughnecks are defending here for their lives.
I would agree so. And now the referee will... He was waiting to see if the advantage with Williamson there on the byline, and this is a foul that is right outside the edge of the box, and Sheldon now booked with the yellow card. That is another booking for the Roughnecks. Visit Tulsa, up close and personal, our sponsor tonight.
And again, I think the referee's got that right. It was a strong challenge
Yellow
for
card
Matt Sheldon. He waited to see if there's any advantage. Sheldon actually did commit somewhat of another foul, but the first one, and I think we'll see it here on the Tangsley Food replay here, that this foul here, that's quite a mistimed challenge, and then he'll go in for another challenge here, and I think, you know, probably the combination of those two, the referee thought that's worthy of a yellow card.
Well, another dangerous spot. You continue to give these opportunities to Timbers 2, and at some point they're going to take advantage of it. There's a ball driven in off of the deflection. Easy there for Sean Lewis.
Yeah, Roughnecks survive, but as you said, one of the features of the game has been the free kicks that have been given to Timbers 2 in and around the box. Okay, not maybe, they've had, what, one or two opportunities.
How about Silva and that ball there from Sean Lewis directly down the center of the pitch, and Silva had to split the two defenders. He's a bit banged up on the opposite end, and now the keeper, Jake Leaker, is down.
Yeah, it was a heavy collision actually, but he said it. I'm all right there. He's doing the thumbs up, but that was no quarter given there from keeper or striker. I don't know what Todd Wharton's asking the referee for there, because I mean that's just a 50-50 challenge. We'll see it here. Silva's entitled to go for that, and the keeper does extremely well. Brave goalkeeping.
I'm telling you, that was pinpoint accuracy from Sean Lewis on that service. Take one or two hops, it forces the keeper into action. You put your striker in the perfect position, but I'm telling you, he had to split two defenders to make that ball happen. And credit to Silva as well for being physical in that moment to fight his way through.
Yeah, and thankfully Silva's okay, and so's Leaker, the goalkeeper. So we're underway again.
73rd minute. Ajekwa has plenty of space. That was Hansen helping back, overlapping run with DaCosta. Ball played in, a run towards the near post and headed away. This will be a Red Crown Credit Union corner for the Roughnecks. You can learn more at redcrown.org. And Portland Timbers 2 have a player that is down. That is Mr. Tuiloma. And the Ajekwa will help him to his feet.
Yeah, we've seen a few stoppages tonight. I think it's going to be quite a high number on the board at the end. It's a corner again to the Roughnecks.
Ball played in. Headed away briefly, still in the air. Turn and a shot, and that one just missed the outreach of A.J. Ajekwa. And that was Roberts with the attempt.
Malin Roberts, the centre-back, doesn't get many of those opportunities to play right wing, does he? But he drove a ball in there.
That's why I paused, because for a moment Not very often do you see the center back in a position like that.
Right, drove it in really well. And as you say, AJ Ajekwa was...
he was stretched out.
Yeah.
There wasn't much more that he could give on that. Needed another 2 inches of height.
Yeah, what is he, 5'6", AJ, so he wasn't going to be favourite to get on the end of that. Here he is with the ball, though.
Takes it away, service back to him, keeps it in here on the touchline. Tries to play centrally. Unlucky there for Ajekwa. Loria, so good on the ball is Marvin Loria. Lewis has this easily at the edge of the box. He'll keep it on the ground to Hedrick, named captain just yesterday here for the 2019 season. Ajekwa near midfield. Clip down there, has a seat.
The Tulsa Roughnecks would like to thank all the fans in attendance tonight. Final total 3,122. Give yourself a round of applause for this opening night. And thank you for your attendance.
Substitution here, protecting dreams since 1978, which Pop will tell you about. It's a Timbers 2 substitution.
It's Tui Loma, whose night is officially done. On loan there from Portland Timbers. And making his way and debut tonight, Max Ornstill, the defender.
Tui Loma's one of those great centre-backs, good vision, very strong, good in the air. I think he'll have a great season. And he's done his work for tonight, 76 minutes worth of it.
Roughnecks will have a substitution at the next opportunity as well. Ornstill spent some time with Timbers 2 last year, 8 appearances, 3 starts. Previous year with Los Dos.
Tulsa Roughnecks substitution coming off the field. Number 8, Manuel Gonzalez.
Or I apologize.
Coming
that was his last goal was against Los Dos.
Batistas.
Roughnecks have a sub of their own.
Well, I think it's a sensible move from Coach Henson to just give the last 13 minutes rest to Manny Gonzalez. He's on a yellow card, of course.
Meg, and now a goal kick. Fortunate there for the Roughnecks.
And it's a straight swap with Fabian Bastidas coming on in the central midfield to replace Manny Gonzalez. So he will go alongside Jeff Adai in the heart of the midfield for the Roughnecks.
78th minute. Another Tedford Insurance substitution. Ajekwa to the far end. Got past the first 2, but that last little effort there by Max Ornstill, who just checked into the game and had plenty of reserve energy in the tank to catch Ajekwa after coming on, and that results in a Red Crown Credit Union corner for the Roughnecks.
Yeah, and Ajekwa could have gone down there under that challenge, but he's an honest player and he stood up and he wanted to get a shot on goal.
Altamirano. Foul on a shove there in the box.
I think it was Cyprian Hedrick there on Todd Wharton, I think. It's always a bit of a waste, isn't it, when somebody just pushes before the ball's even and kind of in the box.
Get updates and alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. You can search for the Roughnecks or even Timbers 2, and then click the follow button to keep up with the latest news and scores, plus get reminders on both's next home match. You can go to ESPN.com now and click follow for your club. Final 10-minute push here, Dave Saunders, or as we get close to that moment, you change anything? Do you become a tad bit more offensive?
My immediate reaction is no, because I think the Roughnecks are kind of digging in. As I said, when they defend, they're more or less a 4-1-4-1. I think if you're Timbers 2, you just go on the way you've been going on because you're good coming forward. There's a foul in the midfield there, but I think if you're the Roughnecks, you don't change anything at the moment.
Tonight's attendance, 3,122 here at One Oak. Sheldon now doing his best, trying to shield off Williamson, plays it off. Bottom of the boot there of Williamson and earns a throw in.
I've been impressed with both back fours in this game. For the Roughnecks, you know, Kinde's done well at left back, and Sheldon, okay, he's had a yellow card, but he's been pretty steady. And then Cyprian Hedrick and Mala Roberts have, you know, formed a pretty good back four.
Another sub now for the Roughnecks. This will be Abdallah coming in for Janu Silva, whose night is officially done here in the 82nd.
Janu Silva's worked hard, deserves his rest, and now we'll see
Tulsa substitution coming onto the field. Number 7,
Abdullah wearing 7.
Abdallah.
Like for like swap
coming
again.
off the field, number 99, Jano Silva.
Adai thought about the square ball there, drops it back to Cyprian Hedrick, and they'll start over. Lewis to Roberts. Plenty of space. DaCosta turns, has a Jakwa, and the assistance flag is up on the far side. Jakwa a bit miffed by that one.
And that free kick is being taken about 10 yards further forward than the assistant referee's line. Anyway, on we go.
You take what they can give you, Dave Saunders.
Agreed.
A little fast pace now from Sheldon. The far side there along the touchline. Adai. Good link up there. Bit more possession here. Ball that's there, had 2 Roughnecks players in the vicinity, and this one will now curl its way out of the park, and a Red Crown Credit Union corner kick coming up. Learn more at redcrown.org.
Because of some wonderful defending again. We were talking about back fours. How about that from the Gambian Modo Jadama? What a quality header away. Corner, as you say, to the Roughnecks. 7 minutes of the 90 left.
See if Abdallah can use that big frame here in this moment. Ball played in. Leaker has it. No trouble whatsoever.
And I think the referee's saying that that one curled out and curled in. So, but you watch this quality defending there. Look at that. Only one person was going to win that, and that was Mojadama.
Roberts now a bit iffy there. Tries to leave it for Lewis. Here's a Jaquia. DaCosta, can he get there in time? And he is clipped down. Referee is going to halt play here. A foul there from Harold Hansen. And that's going to result in a yellow for Mr. Hansen. First booking
Yellow
of the
card
night now
sent to
for
number 45
Timbers
for
2.
the Portland Timbers, Harold Hansen.
That's a Visit Tulsa yellow card. Visit Tulsa up close and personal.
And I think Jaquia had a bit of a point there. He was saying, okay, yes, it was a foul that warranted a yellow card, but how about the advantage that I could have had there on the left-hand side? But I guess if you're a Roughnecks fan, you say, well, I don't mind the position of this free kick with 5 minutes to go in the game. So difficult for referees. It was a foul that, you know, warranted a free kick. Jaquia now takes up his position on the 18-yard line alongside the Timbers defenders and Roughnecks attackers.
DaCosta had to wipe some of the magic spray off the ball. Curling ball in towards the back post. Cyprian Hedrick actually got there. Couldn't get much on it as it was on its way over the byline. Just enough to keep it in play here in the 86th.
Yeah, Cyprian Hedrick there just able to keep it in. The free kick probably from DaCosta just a little bit overhit there.
Adai calls for it back. 15 to 20 yards of space.
Well, I tell you, Pop, if you wanted an indication of whether the Roughnecks are going for it for all 3 points, then Matt Sheldon there, the right back, was in a very advanced position way up on the right-hand side. So maybe Coach Jensen is saying, OK, we'll go for all 3 points.
Well, you trust Matt Sheldon in that situation as well because he has shown the ability to get back in a hurry when he needs to. And here's DaCosta. Good curling ball that's in there. Altamirano cuts back to the inside. Frees himself up. Maybe one too many moves there. Still, though, to the favor of the Roughnecks. The attempted shot knocked down. And to the opposite direction now comes Portland Timbers 2.
Yeah, I think you took the words right out of my mouth. He took on the lad, beat him, and then wanted to beat him again, and there was no need for him to do that.
Roberts now. Easy ball forward for Jaquia, who is hacked down from behind. That's another one on Hansen. Jake was up and okay.
Yeah, and it was Hansen who was booked, so he's got to be careful. Good battle between Hansen and AJ Jaquia, the Tulsa Roughnecks substitute, down this left-hand side. Here they are again, at it together.
I haven't told you enough about Roberts tonight as well. He was called up to the Canadian national team, to the senior squad for 2018 World Cup qualifications, and the flag is up one more time on a Jaquia.
Yeah, just went a little bit too early. He's quick, isn't he, Jaquia? But he just went a little bit too early. Yeah, Malin Roberts, he's a good partner, isn't he, for Cyprian Hedrick? Former Richmond Kickers man.
Good hustle there from Sheldon. Goal kick coming up for Tulsa here in the waning moments of regulation.
It's Mike Ensian with Vukovic, who played for the Roughnecks last season. One of his assistants.
Vukovic seemingly played his best there towards the end of the season, I felt. He was maybe, I think, the main cog in the attack for the Roughnecks towards the end of 2018.
He was, with that trusty left foot.
Got to be careful here and leave it off the deflection. Boy, we've seen several of those take a bad hop, but Lewis able to get there in enough time.
And to be fair to the Roughnecks, they did get back and defend that pretty well. But again, you cannot count this Timbers 2 side out. They want to go for all 3 points as well.
Shut down by Sheldon. Throw in coming up now. As both teams make a final push. Sheldon's throw. Still kept in the air. Can Ajekwa get there in time? He cannot.
No, Ajekwa there almost saw the whites of the keeper's eyes there, didn't he? But good defending again. But Ajekwa's certainly made a difference since coming on as a sub.
Quickly on the counter. Hedrick will pick up a yellow. Good hard challenge there from Cyprian Hedrick.
Yeah, took one for the team there, a yellow card. The Visit Tulsa,
yellow card
close and personal yellow card, and we saw the board go up there as well with 5 minutes on it, my friend.
There's a replay.
I think that's called taking one for the team.
Because Loria was on the dead sprint with that ball at his feet. 5 minutes stoppage time brought to you by Osage Casino Hotel. Learn more at osagecasino.com. A precarious moment for the home side here.
Well, it's got to be 30 yards out, Pop. So it'd be a tremendous effort to get this on frame directly. So we'll see. Chipped into the box.
Header, and Mojadama has seen better days on headers than that last attempt, including that goal that he scored earlier. And the Roughnecks survive
5 minutes of
here.
Extra time has been added on to the second half.
Yeah, he got that all wrong, did he, Mojadama? Probably the first thing he's done wrong in the whole game, actually. He just didn't direct it at all and goes away harmlessly for a Sean Lewis goal kick here.
Long throw in, and it's going to be called against the Roughnecks. Thought that there might have been a little bit of a shove in the back, but
yeah, that's what Abdullah was saying, wasn't it? That referee's gone with a Timbers 2 free kick, and Leek is in no hurry to take this. Playing injury time.
Abdallah tried to sell it. Hedrick over to close down that space, not allow any opportunity to turn there on the touchline. Sheldon now has to play this one smartly.
That's a free kick given away in a dangerous position on against Sheldon. I think it was bringing down Farfan, so a chance for Timbers 2 now to get into the box, and of course everybody from the Roughnecks has to come back and defend this.
We've got a little situation happening now with Altamirano. Farfan there. Center Jose Laura.
Yeah, I thought it was Sheldon, but of course it wasn't. It was the substitute Fabian Bastidas committing the foul there. Could be the last chance of the game.
Everyone has to be very well aware of where you are at in space here. If you're a roughneck defender, referee still stepping in, trying to separate some of the players, and floating ball just the opposite side of the penalty spot. Warriors curler still free, brought down, and Lewis had to go to the turf to get it.
Yeah, Lewis would have been happy for that. It's an offside there against Abdallah, but Lewis would have been happy to dive on that one after the deflection from Cyprian Hedrick.
Had several deflections tonight that he has had to handle.
He's looked competent. He's, you know, hasn't made any mistakes. Famous last words from the commentator, but he's saved a penalty as well. So he'll be pleased.
Sheldon will watch this sail out. Who's up and who's down? Where does your club sit? You can find out every Monday in the official USL Championship Power Rankings, only on USLChampionship.com. It's a handball.
Should say as well that Timbers too have a good goalkeeper in Jake Leaker, haven't they? He's had a good night as well. Hasn't made any mistakes. Was beaten by a quality goal in the first half from Mr. Altamirano.
Standing over the select ball, almost from midfield. Towards the corner of the 18, headed away. Here's a Jaquia. Roughnecks trying to counter in a hurry. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, they've been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, visit SelectSportAmerica.com. Throw in now, a Jaquia. Abdallah's just been unlucky so far tonight since coming in as a sub. Loria. Back to Williamson. Finds Loria there. Perfect ball played.
Well, I think Matt Sheldon will be a relieved man as the referee blows the whistle there, because he just did a bit of trickery in the middle of the field. But I think probably, Pop, I think the neutrals would say 1-1's about right. A draw's right on the night. Great game of soccer, really good. Congratulate both coaches and both teams.
That last ball there from Loria that took one hop inside the 6. Zambrano getting there right before the byline.
Please make your way down to the edge
I
of
can
the
see the sigh of relief there on Sean Lewis's face that the referee in that moment then blows the whistle. And these two teams finish off at 1 apiece.
Tonight's official after
and as you mentioned, rightfully so, I mean, Timbers 2 finished with 52% of the possessions in this.
After autographs to meet the Roughneck players, coaches,
Roughnecks caught up with corners.
Again, tonight's after party will be
Let's
right
take a look at some of the attacking numbers. 13 shots tonight for Timbers 2, 6 of those on target, 7 shots for the Roughnecks, 2 of those on target for the home side.
Man of the match is number 11.
Well, I think both coaches, you know, we said it in commentary. It's first game of the season. It's new teams. You know, the Roughnecks, apart from DJ Dean, had every single player that has been signed this season.
Thank you for attending tonight's match.
Timbers 2 have made many signings, so both coaches didn't know about each other's teams. And I think at the end of the day, I think that's a fair result. I think 1-1
at 3 p.m.
You know, credit Timbers too. They were a good attacking side, and I'm sure in a minute Pop will look at some of the highlights and see why it finished 1-1.
Let's do that now. Brought to you by Osage Casino and Hotel. Learn more at OsageCasino.com and how things got started here between these two sides with the Roughnecks and Timbers 2. Here's the goal. Dave, the first goal in 2019.
Quality goal. Wonderful from Christian Altamirano, and there is his Pepsi goal celebration. Delicious, refreshing Pepsi. What about that for an opener for yourself and for your team for this season?
Perfect placement, and here comes the Timbers. It's Williamson on the dead run. and just misses there on the near post with Sierakowski.
Yeah, just wide of the target, but here's DJ Dean, had a good, especially first half, good defending here, and this is right at the end of the first half, and we'll see here the keeper, Leaker, sees this late, but he makes a pretty good save in the end, and we went in 1-0 at halftime to the Roughnecks.
Tuiloma saved the day there. He got in front. Here's the PK and the save, a big save from Sean Lewis, and that was a game changer.
Yeah, struck it pretty well, good save from Lewis. But then here's Mo Jadama coming up with the header. Didn't have to, hit too much on it there. Just guides it home. And again, he goes off for his Pepsi, delicious, refreshing Pepsi goal celebration.
Tulsa wasn't done. Here's an opportunity from them from the byline and just out of the reach of A.J. Ajekwa. And one more opportunity here for the Roughnecks.
Yeah, ball into the box, but there was Mo Jadama who had a great game at the heart of the defence for Timbers. And then it was Timbers who came right at the end here. There was a deflection off Hedrick, but then Sean Lewis dove on the ball. And there's Mike Ensign with Donovan Ricketts and Mr. Vukovic saying, OK, we got a 1-1 draw tonight. We'll settle for that.
Both teams will reset after the 1-1 draw, and we thank you for watching tonight across this great country of ours. For my partner, Dave Saunders, I am Jeremy Poplin, and thanks to all the production staff here at 1-0 Field for helping make this one happen. Roughnecks and Timbers 2 equal at 1 in this opening match of the 2019 USL Championship season. Have a good night from all of us here in the city of Tulsa.
I was at my yearly checkup when I was 12, and we went and got x-rays, and she diagnosed me with scoliosis, and that we needed surgery as soon as possible.
Tulsa Bone and Joint was very compassionate. They took their time with us. They answered questions. He was very encouraging.
Dr. Clark helped me see that there is life after spinal fusion. Just because your spine is fused doesn't mean that you can't do what you love to do.
I'm Chad Smith with Becco Contractors. As an employer, we're always worried about new employees coming to the job and not being aware of their surroundings and just not knowing what they're really doing because it's a new job site. So the partnership with Tulsa Tech has really helped us take that worry out of the equation. We know that they're fully trained and ready to go by the time they show up on the job.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.